Hi, this is Mel David speaking. I want to thank all of the many people who participated in this project. Ricky, my wife, my children, my grandchildren, friends and family, and Rabbi Pearl, who created this very beautiful introduction to this project. The 4 F's are the philosophy of my life, which include faith, fitness, family, and fun. And then there's a proverb here about Yagata v'lo matzati al ta'min, Yagati umatzati ta'min, which mainly means if you work hard, you can achieve what you want to receive. Hi, this is Mel again. Here's some pictures of Ricky and myself and some of the kids. And now we have Ricky.
Hi, I'm Ricky David, Mel David's wife of 54 years, and apparently I've been given the same minute that everybody else has. I think Mel thinks it might be dangerous to give me any more time than that, so I'm trying to stick to the minute. I've been privy to these testimonials for the last couple of weeks, and as I've been listening to them, I hear all these wonderful activities, and I'm thinking, who is this guy? And whoever he is, his children, his grandchildren, his wife, they sure are very, very lucky to have him in their lives, because they must really have a lot of fun. And then I remember, I said, hey, wait a minute, that's me. And I have to say that over the years, I think of all the things we've done that I really don't know that I would have done with anybody else. The water skiing and the downhill skiing and the cross-country skiing and the rafting and the canoeing and the camping and lots of fun things that we've done over the years. So I want to wish you, my 80-year-old teenage husband, very happy birthday, Mel, and I love you.
This is Michael and myself, Lake Placid. This is a very famous picture of the 4 of us biking and with the Twin Towers in the background. Very, very unusual.
My name is Michael, and I am Saba Mel's favorite son. And I've been asked in 60 seconds to describe an activity that I did with Saba Mel. It's very difficult, obviously, and quite a challenge for me to come up with an activity, because Saba Mel has taught me a number of incredible activities and sports, including running, swimming, sailing, biking, downhill skiing, cross-country skiing, water skiing, ice skating, camping, fishing, and triathlon training. So the one I'm going to pick is actually cross-country skiing, where the 2 of us, when I was in law school, took a trip, just the 2 of us, during winter break to Lake Placid. And we did a 3-day trip downhill cross-country skiing, and it was magnificent. We did the mountains and flat skiing. And on the 2nd day, he actually, unfortunately, had an accident where he went off the side of a mountain and went into a tree and hurt himself. And it was pretty bad, and I had to drive him back. And the whole way back, Saba Mel kept with a broken leg. I remember him sitting in the back of the car. I'm thinking to myself, this sucks, where he's got a broken leg. My dad's in the back of the car. The trip was cut short, and we're driving home, I don't know, 4 or 5 hours. And all Saba Mel could say was, what an amazing trip this has been. And it taught me a lesson about priorities and perspective. And that's my 60-second story of my Saba Mel experience. Thank you.
Hi, this is a very famous three-generation bike ride out of Berlin in 2007. My generation, and Jonathan and Stephen, and then Josh. Three generations participated in this bike ride, and that is pretty much of a record for that bike ride. This is Stephen and Mel doing their first marathon. We had some arguments about the event, and Stephen will tell about it personally sometime, but I just want everybody to know that this was a historic marathon in New York. Thank you, and then I'll stop.
Hi, it's Stephen David, and I'm making a video to acknowledge all of the activities that I've done with my dad, Mel David, who's now turning 80. He actually asked me to come up with one activity and mention only one, but I thought it'd be fun to mention all the activities that we've done together and from which I've learned so much from him over the past years. That includes, and I won't say it in one breath, it's too much, mountain biking and road biking. We've gone running, we've gone hiking and walking. We've done marathons together as well as triathlons. We've done bike races. We've done paddle boating, we've done swimming, we've done snorkeling and scuba diving together. We've gone water skiing and I've gone wakeboarding with him present. We've gone canoeing and sailing together. We've gone snow skiing, snowboarding. We've played tennis, we've played paddleball, we've played basketball, we've shot pool together, and we've played baseball. And I think I've probably forgotten a few. Dad, it's a lot of activities, and I've done each and every one of them with you, and I've learned so much from you. Thank you for being an unbelievable inspiration to both me and all my kids. I love you. Happy 80th.
This is a very famous picture with J.J. Greenberg on the left. We miss him very much. Myself, John David, Elliot Newman, Howard Isaacs at a triathlon that we participated in many years ago. Jonathan and Stephen and Michael and I each year have an annual golf event. I love this event because I have the three children all for myself. Nobody else interferes with us. We go out, we have a wonderful time. It's a par 3. Whether we play great golf, mediocre, or poor golf does not matter. But we are together, and I treasure this because this is a special time when no one else has their attention except me. So this is one of my highlights of the year. I love this event, the annual June golf outing.
This is Jonathan David wishing my father, Mel David, on his 80th birthday, the best health and happiness, and just reminiscing about some of the cool athletic things we've done over the years. Of course, there's the triathlon, the Olympic triathlon we did in the early 90s, which was really fun. And then more recently, about 10 years ago, there was the Alin bike ride over 5 days, biking through northern Israel. But my favorite part of hanging out with my dad and doing fun sports stuff is just the stuff we do all the time. Like this morning, we just went cross-country skiing in a local place, and we often go off-road biking in the woods right near my house, and that's just the best time. The two of us with the ducks and the geese and the deer and everything else. It's just so much fun to go off-road biking with him all the time in our neighborhood, and I want to continue doing that for the next 40 years. Mazel tov.
This is a picture of Julia and Ricky when they went zip lining in Cancun, and
I remember I had a lot of fun because it was my first time zip lining, and I didn't really want to go until you said, like, it'll be fine, everyone's doing it, it's so much fun. And I also remember right after we rappelled, the hike to the zip lining place was great. I was right behind you. I was with Talia and Mom and Aunt Karen, and it was a lot of fun. Happy 80th birthday, Saba.
Thank you. This is a picture of Talia and myself swimming. We had a wonderful time skiing. Kids were very, very little. And we were at a place, it was cold, it was rainy, and the kids went down, and then Talia went down a long mountain, about 1.5 miles down, and I couldn't believe what she was able to do. She was very, very courageous, as was Tamar and Talia. Ariel and Talia, when they were very little, went skiing, and we had a very good time, and it's hard to believe that the time has gone by and we're all much older.
My favorite activity to do with Sabamel is go camping, because camping is like very interactive. Like when you're skiing, you bring your skis, you go down the mountain, and you have dinner. But when you're camping, you're like talking, you're learning, you're telling stories about a campfire. And I also like camping because like it's kind of like intergenerational, because you taught my dad and now my dad taught me, and all my friends are learning from you. I have a whole group of friends that know you as Saba Mel, and I like going camping because you could talk and it doesn't really matter what age you are, because everyone's just doing the same thing. Like you and Jack Neudlecht, who is very young, we're like best friends camping, and I think it's really nice that you could be friends with young children. Happy birthday!
Cunningham Park is a great place for lots of fun. Green, blue, and black bike riding in the summer and the winter, and we have a lot of fun here, and we usually go here on Sunday mornings. Machu Picchu is a great place. We have a lot of fun here, and very challenging, and we had a very good time. It was very difficult, and Aria loved it very much. Machu Picchu.
I'm Ariel David, Saba Mel's grandson, and I have two memories. Happy birthday, by the way. Mazel tov. I'm glad we can all be here in Florida, enjoying ourselves. And I'd like to say two memories of Saba Mel. The first being on Machu Picchu during my bar mitzvah trip in Peru, where we hiked up the mountains and had an amazing time watching the sunrise early morning on the height of Machu Picchu, seeing the whole valley beneath us. And then the second time was in Cunningham Park in Queens, multiple times on Sunday mornings with me and my dad. We would drive there, and me, Saba, my father would go biking around and really just enjoy ourselves, working out.
One more.
And Mazel Tov, have a great day.
Hi, this is Mel David speaking.
Hi,
this is a picture of a golf course in Westchester, par 3 golf course, and we spend a lot of time together.
Me, my father, my brother, and Saba Mel all did the 5-borough bike tour. It's a bike ride that you start in Manhattan and you actually go through every single New York City borough. It's probably the longest bike ride that I've ever done. It was like, I think, 38 miles in total. And you end by going over the Verrazano Bridge with a gorgeous view of Manhattan that I never saw before from that angle. And after the Verrazano Bridge, you go to a fair, and then the Staten Island ferry ride back to Manhattan. So it was an amazing day, and I remember that with great fond memories.
Same photo of Cunningham Park, off-road biking place. We spend a lot of time there. It's a great place. We're very lucky to have it right near our home. Triathlon. Green, JJ, Jonathan, Elliot. A skiing photo. Ariel, Ellie, John, and Jakey. Miss JJ. It's a cold day, January 2010, and we had a great time. Skiing.
Hi, Saba. So I remember one time, me, you, my dad, Ariel, and Elliot went skiing together. Right? So we started off the day, and I could not ski at all. Like we went down the first hill and I was just like all over the place. So you offered to take me skiing for the entire day, right? So you were like going to train me. So we went off together, and I don't know what happened to the others. They, not a part of this. So you took me, and the entire day, instead of going with them on like the cool Black Diamond or whatever they did, you took me to do all the basic skiing, and by the end of the day, I was skiing with them. So thank you. It's pretty cool.
A golfing session at Flushing Meadow Park, and the kids have a great time there. One of them got a hole-in-one, and I got that child a trophy. I don't remember who it was who won the trophy. This is a great picture of Ellie, and Jakey, and John, and myself. We were all riding and having a wonderful time in New Rochelle, New York. It was a wonderful ride. We had a great time.
Hi everyone, this is Emily checking in. I just wanted to wish you, first of all, Saba, a really, 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 really happy 25th birthday. For my sports activity, obviously everyone knows I have the most fit grandfather ever, which is very impressive, obviously. We've done so many things together. We've, biked, skied, tennis, basketball, every athletic activity you can think of, swimming. But the one I want to talk about today, just really quickly, is the first time that I ever went skiing. It was not easy because everyone else for some reason already knew how to ski. But Saba was so nice, and he took me around the whole entire day, even though our family was doing much more challenging slopes, and he actually taught me how to ski, which is not easy for those of you that know me. Skiing is not my best activity.
Noah was a fearless skier when he first started out. He did terrific work skiing, having a great time on the slopes. We had a great time with him.
of my greatest days of physical activity with Saba has to be this past summer when he invited me to Kingsborough, not giving me very many details. And I get there, he has rackets in hand, and we play several games of tennis. From there, we go straight to the ocean, and we have a nice long swim for about an hour. And after that, I'm exhausted, I'm ready to go home. And he says, follow me. So I get in my car and follow his car, and we drive further into Brooklyn. And we come up at this tiny little hut called the Lake Sebago Kayak Club. And for about 2 hours, we kayaked out into the Atlantic Ocean and back. And that was the conclusion to what I can say was definitely one of the greatest days of my life. Mazel Tov Saba on this amazing occasion. We love you so much. And we're looking forward to spending many, many more amazing times with you in the future. Love you.
This picture was taken 5 years ago, and we have Ariel, Ellie, Jakey, and myself skiing, having a wonderful time on the mountain.
Hey Saba, it's Elliot. Just wanted to say happy 80th. Sorry I can't be there. I was just thinking back to the Hudson River swim that we did a few years ago, back on Father's Day, where you and we went down to the 79th Street Basin in New York City, and we swam a half mile. Even though the water was quite disgusting, you and I both finished very well in the race. And yeah, it was just like a memory that I wanted to share with you on this special day. Again, congratulations, and to many more.
Looks like the 5-borough bike ride, and Joe and John and I, and the bridge in the background makes me think it looks like the Brooklyn Bridge. And we had a great time, and it was very courageous. This was Joe's year in Israel, and we did a midnight bike ride around Jerusalem. Quite an experience riding through the city.
I'm Joe David. I am the son of Jonathan and Deborah David, grandson of Mel and Renee David. I have, of course, for many years been biking, running, swimming with Saba Mel. You know, just too many memories to count. One notable one, I guess a big one, was the 5-borough bike tour, which we all went on together, a bunch of us, and it was just a totally new experience. It was so nice to bike around in public, and it was the first time I had really ever ventured onto a main thoroughfare, you know, without being in the backseat of a minivan. So that was a nice step up, and it was just nice to spend the day with Saba, as it always is. So love you, much luck, and best wishes on your 80th birthday, and I look forward to Florida.
Thank you. Rachel had an interest in biking, and now she's coming back to biking. She just got biking shoes, and she's becoming a bicycle enthusiast again. Congratulations, Rachel. Keep up the good work. A wonderful picture of us snorkeling on Jordan and Rachel's bar mitzvah trip in Hawaii. We're looking forward to doing the same kind of thing on our upcoming trip to Penny Camp National Park, where we will go kayaking, possibly snorkeling, scuba, and canoeing. We hope to do it again coming up soon.
First of all, I want to wish the happiest birthday to my amazing Saba Mel on his 80th birthday. Not many people can speak about the activities they did with their grandfather that I can speak about, that I did with Saba Mel. Among many, some of my best memories of childhood is probably the times we went to Park City with Grandma and Saba. you know, I love skiing with Saba. I always have. He's a great skier. And something that will stick with me forever is how, well, this is Grandma too, but how Saba and Grandma on our last run will always say, it's the second to last run, because it's bad luck if you say that it's your last run, because I guess they're kind of superstitious. But anyway, I feel very lucky to be able to share those activities with Saba, and you know, it's amazing.
Jordan, Howard Isaacs, and I shared this wonderful 5-borough bike ride. Jordan was very young, but he was a very good rider, very strong. We had a terrific time, and Jordan is now training in Michigan, doing swimming, biking, and running for other possible events in the future. We wish him good luck. I believe that this picture was taken in Israel, and we have Rachel, Josh, and Jordan and myself in the pool. It looks like it might be the Dead Sea, but I am not sure. Jordan served in the IDF. Here he is with a huge weapon. We are very proud of him, as we are proud of Elliot, who served in Gaza. He was a paratrooper, and they both left the IDF unscathed, and we are all very grateful to God for keeping them safe while they were in the military.
Hi, I'm Jordan David. I'm Saba Mel's grandson. And over the past few years, I've gotten to know Saba very well through the many experiences that we've shared together. From biking down Mount Haleakala in Hawaii, to snorkeling in the Cayman Islands, to swimming in the Kingsborough Community College pool with random strangers, and even doing the 5-borough bike ride with him and Howard Isaacs, which is the most well-documented David family adventure ever to date. So I really do appreciate Saba and what he's done for us and for me, and I love him so dearly, and I'm so happy to celebrate his 80th birthday with him, along with the entire family in Florida. So Saba, happy birthday once again. We all love you, and we cannot wait to experience 80 more years together with you in the future. Mwah.
Josh, bar mitzvah trip, Costa Rica. Wonderful trip. Moved, a lot of excitement on the river, whitewater rafting, and we enjoyed it very, very much. It was a great trip. Josh and Steven at a Ironman, Lake Placid, 2.2-mile swim, and
hey, Saba,
not easy.
when you asked us to make these videos of activities we've done with you, it of course wasn't hard at all for me to think of things we've done together. Even taking a quick glance around my room, you can see, you know, signs of all the things we've done together. For instance, just sitting on my desk is a picture of us whitewater rafting for my bar mitzvah in Costa Rica. Where else? Oh. Here you can see the jersey from the Alin ride we did together in Israel a few years ago. Oh. It's weird. Oh, even this race that I incredibly accomplished, you came down for the weekend for me, and you know, I wouldn't have been into biking or running or swimming if it wasn't for you, if I wasn't inspired by all the activities that you do every single day. If I had to choose one, I'd probably choose scuba diving in Cozumel, learning how to scuba dive. You know, that was an amazing weekend with you, my dad, and Jordan. You know, just hanging out and learning with their guide. So happy birthday, have a good one, and can't wait to go running with you this afternoon.
Happy 80th, Mel. This is your brother Sid in Israel wishing you a very, very happy 80th. This is a picture of the Long Island Half Marathon in 1998, which we ran together. Shalom to all.
This is Mel and Sid at my wedding. This is Jonathan and Stephen's bar mitzvah. Look at Gary, look at Seth. It was taken at the Jewish Center because you could tell by the wallpaper that this was taken at the Jewish Center. Wow, interesting. Now, this was taken at the wedding of Sam, Rosalie's son. Rosalie's son Sam's wedding. I believe this was at Michael's wedding. Michael and Karen's wedding. And we could see all of the participants in Michael and Karen's wedding. Sid and my mother. My mother stayed at Gerwin for many years. She was lucky to have good health. And I tried to get out, Ricky tried to get out to see her as often as we could. But Sid and Elaine, every single day for about 6 years, they visited her every single day. We owe a debt of gratitude to them.
Hey Mel, happy birthday and welcome to the Octo Club. When I think back on all the things that we've done together, you and Ricky and Irv, Alav Shalom, and it's impossible to even think of trying to condense all these memories into the 1 minute I've been allotted. But I'll just go over the highlights. I have really fond recollections of you and Irv jogging, you and Irv playing tennis, you and Irv snowshoeing, all of us skiing in Park City, all of us hiking in the Canadian Rockies, all of us slogging through animal droppings in the Galapagos, trying to decide on the difference between all the footed red, blue, yellow boobies. And I also remember so very much more. And every one of these memories is precious. And we had so many laughs. And it's just something I think about a lot. And once again, I want to wish you long life, happy birthday, many, many, many more.
Hi, Uncle Mel. Happy birthday and many, many happy returns. One of my first memories of our fitness activities together, if you can call it that, was the summer when you guys all came to visit us in San Diego, and you and Stephen might have been jumping off of roofs into pools, but I at the time was too afraid even to dive off the side, so you taught me how, using bricks from the side, raising each time I dived, raising it a few more inches until finally I was higher than the level of the diving board. And I was so proud of myself that you taught me that, and that I learned how to dive. And from then on, my athletic career has been legendary, thanks to you. Here's to our first triathlon next year. Happy birthday.
Cloudy San Diego. Wish I could say it was sunny, but it is not. When I think of all the exciting things we've done together, wow, just so much. Everything from camping and fishing and kayaking in La Jolla, and what else have we done? Oh, I also think of all your inspiration. You inspired me to go water skiing the very first time, and that was in the Long Island Sound. And what else? Oh, you inspired me to run my very first marathon, and then we ran one together in New York, and that was fabulous. And on top of everything else, you've also inspired me to have twins. So thank you very much. I love you. We miss you, and happy birthday, and look forward to hopefully seeing you soon. Take care. Happy birthday. Bye-bye.
Hi Mel, unbelievable that you're celebrating 80. My grandmother, who was your aunt, when she was 80, she was very old. But as we say today, 80 is the new 60. So, עד 120, like we say here. And I want to share with you some memoirs I have with you. Actually, when we came from Israel as Olim Chadashim from Romania, you and Ricky were the first family we met, because in Romania it was still communism. We didn't have any contact with family. We only were the four of us, Titi, me and my parents, and our grandparents, your aunt Nettie and her husband's rule. And you were the first who came to visit us where we lived first in the asbestos houses. At that time, in the 60s, early 60s, nobody knew that asbestos is not so healthy. Anyway, we lived there for a year, and you and Ricky came to visit us on a motorcycle while we were in Israel for a year. We were all very excited to meet you, and having a motorcycle was something very special for me. Who I was 10, and Titi was 5. And you took me, I can remember you took me for a ride on the motorcycle. I was quite frightened, but excited too. I'm not sure if Titi dared to do it too. Maybe she did. She was more courageous than I did. Then you went back and had your first twins in America. And since then, you and Ricky came to visit us often, and you were a part of our family, and participated in your and our celebrations, and you saw our boys growing up too, and we're all very happy always to see you. All the best, Neshikot. Have a nice birthday celebration, and see you soon in Israel. Bye everybody. Bye Rina and the whole family.
Dear Mel, it's such a pleasure to congratulate you almost in person and talk a little about the theme of athletics and adventure, which is definitely you, the way I remember and know you. A first memory of you coming with a motorcycle to visit us in Shikun Chisachon Bayit Vagan in the early 60s with Ricky in the back, about 9 months pregnant with twins, but still you were touring Jerusalem on a motorcycle. And years later, I came to New York for the first time. You took the day off and showed me around. We walked and walked for miles, never took the subway, and it really gave me a great impression of the city, including a picture that I still have from these days. I think it was on the top of the twin buildings. Here are several pictures showing us there. And all your other amazing things you're doing to keep the family together, to have a family tree, to get to know my kids, is an amazing achievement, I think, and your personality is unbelievable. I well know why my mother, Martha, loved so much you and your brother Sid, and always had a smile on her face when she talked about you and when she saw you both. I hope to come to New York again and travel around, have you lead me, while I probably will be huffing and puffing behind you, and we can enjoy some time together. Meanwhile, have a wonderful birthday with your family, and keep the energy and everything you have. Much love, Titi.
Hi Mel, this is Liat. I'm wishing you a happy birthday from California. It's incredible that you're putting this project together in honor of your 80th birthday for yourself and for the family to enjoy for many, many years to come. You asked us to think about a time we shared an experience together, and first thing that comes to mind is the recent trip Shani and I took to visit you and Ricky in New York City. You picked us up from Penn Station, and we went directly to the High Line and walked all along it, and we had a great time catching up. You told us all about all the marathons you've run, the 5-borough bike ride you had just completed, and it was really incredible to hear about what a physical and active person you are. We had a great time seeing the whole city from the High Line and walking all along it. Your positivity and energy and enthusiasm made for a really wonderful weekend, and I hope to share many, many more weekends like it, both on this coast and back in New York. Hope to see you soon. Have a wonderful time in Florida with all the family. Hello to everyone and happy birthday.
Hi Mel, happy 80th birthday. I hope you have a great day surrounded by family and filled with laughter. I'll always remember when me and Leonce visited you in New York. We went to the MoMA together and walked in the museum for many hours, and you told us many interesting stories, and we enjoyed dinner together. I hope we can all visit soon and unite on one coast together. Happy 80th birthday, Mel.
Hi Mel, and congratulations on this great milestone. Happy 80th. Sorry it took a while to get the video to you, but as you asked from me, I am recalling all the great years we've done things together, and it goes back quite a long ways. Might even have predated Stephen's entry into the family, can't exactly remember, but let's see, we started out, I remember those weekend biking excursions we would do out on the island, down Bell Boulevard and along the Long Island Expressway Service Road out to Old Westbury. That was pretty much a weekend staple that we did together. I fondly remember the triathlon we did in Orchard Beach with Jonathan and I think Stephen and Howard Isaacs and JJ Oliver Shalom. May have been one or two other people there. That was a great event. And, well, of course, it was the Olin bike ride, which we all did together. And I know Josh referenced that in his little video. And I could never forget our excursions to Utah with Amy and Jerry and Irv. You know, waking up in the morning and watching those videos of how to parallel turn and make S-turns are forever etched in my mind. We'll never forget them. So, yeah, just a lot of great things we've done and others along the way. And no question that some of those early events spurred me on to make them part of my life as they are today. And hopefully I'll be able to use a lot of that and get Jake into things, etc. So, happy birthday, Mazel Tov, and I hope we can do this for another 80 years. From myself, Gabriella, from Jake, who is now sleeping. Have a great time, a great weekend, and happy birthday. Be well. Regards. Bye.
Prop, it's Mel's. Prop, it's Mel's birthday.
Oh my gosh, it's Mel's 80th birthday celebration. Mel and I go back to our grade school days,
I can't believe how time has gone by, and we've always been in contact with each other, and it's one of the rare occasions that we grow up and still at 80 years old we still are in touch. On this occasion, Mel, I want to wish you a wonderful and happy 80th birthday. Regards from sunny Calabasas, California.
My name is Ezra Dykeman. Mel and I met in kind of a funny way. When Jerry Meyer was first putting together this 8 o'clock minion, a fledgling 8 o'clock minion, which is now an institution at the Young Israel of Queens Valley, he wrote me in to read the Torah. As I always have done, I get around the neighborhood with a bicycle. Mel noticed that I was coming back and forth with the bicycle, and he invited me for a Sunday ride with his group. And I had been off-road biking once or twice before. And I figured, well, you know, I'm the youngest guy in the group. How bad can this be? The next thing I know, we're heading down a hill. And, of course, there's no trail. Howard picks some route between two trees. And we're heading down a hill that is so steep that I am convinced that my bicycle is going to flip over. But I'm the last guy to go, and they all went in front of me. So the next thing I know, I'm heading down, and the bicycle doesn't flip over, and it opened up a whole world to me. And then, you know, I said, well, what happens when it snows? And the next thing I know, they convinced me to buy a pair of cross-country skis, and we're doing these laps around the golf course. Now, what many people don't know is, at least at that time, both the bike riding and the cross-country skiing were technically outside of the rules. So we had a 3-hour, incredibly intricate trail through Cunningham and through Alley Pond Park, all of which was highly illegal. And then the cross-country skiing on the golf course was illegal. So we spent all the time avoiding the rangers and avoiding getting tickets. So I have to thank Mel for introducing me to a life of crime. The culmination, one of the high points of our relationship was when Mel and Howard came on the Grand Canyon trip. And it was just such a deeply moving trip. And then the hike up, and just one of my favorite images is the two of them at the top of that hike with the grit and the perseverance, and then the Shabbos we spent afterwards. So Mazel Tov, Mel. It is such a fantastic milestone. Mazel Tov on your 80th birthday, and we are all looking for you to pave the way to continue the physical activity for 120 years.
Shelley Friedland has become a very good friend and a luncheon partner. He was the first one at Kingsborough College to get an email address. He has produced some beautiful DVD covers. I am very grateful for his mentoring. I love you, Shelley.
Mel, my Uncle Shelley has a few words for you from the top of Vail, Colorado.
Hey, Mel, Shelley, we just took a run for you, Mel. Happy birthday run. I treasure our friendship of many years and our lunches together where you tell me about your great family, your great wife. So happy birthday. I know it's your 80th. Mine comes up in July, so you're much older than me, Mel. So have a great time. I know you're going skiing soon. You take care of yourself. I love you, buddy. Happy birthday.
Sandy is a terrific bike leader. She comes prepared with sheets to describe the ride. She always is meticulous to be sure that everyone is able to keep up with the group. And if you fall behind, she goes back and tries to help you. She's terrific. We love you, Sandy. Thank you for the great work.
Hi, everybody. This is Sandy Nissel-Horowitz. I just want to wish Mel, who we all love so much and look up to, the most wonderful, happy 80th birthday. And he should have many more years filled with health and bracha and the ability to keep doing all the sports that he does. I met Mel, it has to be 12 or 13 years ago on the Alin bike ride in Israel. And we have ridden up hills together. We have cried down rainy hills together. We have stopped at the most inopportune times because Mel likes to take pictures of everything. And we have just have met wonderful chevras together. And we just, I know I'm repeating myself, which I often do, you can ask my children, but we just look up to Mel so much as somebody who loves his family, treats his family with such respect, joins them and makes them join on his special trips and activities. And we just wish him a future filled to keep doing all of that. Happy birthday, Mel. We love you.
Okay, my name's Howard Isaacs. I've known Mel since 1984. You'll have to forgive me if I refer to some notes because we've done so many things together, I'm not sure that I'll remember them all. We first met, as I said, in Flushing Meadow Park running. I was running with a mutual friend and who was ready to leave, so I continued running with Mel. And that began a long friendship and some very important athletic participation. When Mel found out that I enjoyed swimming as much as he did, he suggested that I buy a bike and we try a new sport called triathlon. We did a number of those. We also did a number of two-sport events, which was originally called biathlon, now called duathlon, involving running, biking, and running again. We continued riding our bikes on the road in warm weather, but when the weather turned cold and it was too cold to ride, we decided to buy mountain bikes and we started riding off-road in Queens, initially in Cunningham Park, making our own trails, and then using some trails that were built by a relatively professional group that would build the trails and clean them. When it was snowing in the winter time, obviously we couldn't ride. So Mel had been interested in cross-country skiing. I didn't know about the sport, but I knew I would love it as soon as we tried. So when it was snowing, we would go cross-country skiing either in Casina Golf Course or Casina Park. We had met a mutual friend. Mel had met him cross-country skiing, named Ray, and we've continued doing that up until recently. We would also take family trips once a year up to Grafton, Vermont, where they had prepared trails. We spent a long weekend there and had some really good times. Mel was always looking to challenge himself, and he found out about a 5-day bicycle ride in Israel to benefit Alin Children's Rehabilitation Hospital. The purpose of that was basically to raise money. And we did that for a number of years. I did it for 6 years. Mel's continued. God knows how many rides he's done, but he completed one this year as well. Over the course of the years, this is going back actually quite a few years, we did some family whitewater rafting trips. And then we did a few years ago, we did a rafting trip down the Colorado River through the Grand Canyon, which was always a dream of mine ever since I was in medical school. We went about halfway down. This was with a bunch of guys from the local community. And we had to hike out over the Bright Angel Trail, which was really quite a challenge. But we managed to do that. I've been privileged to know Mel and to consider him a very good friend. He's introduced me to many challenging activities. I wish him a happy birthday, good health, long life, and the ability to continue to challenge himself for many years.
Okay, we're on, right? So, Mazel Tov on your 80th birthday. I think that's awesome, Mel. And I'm really honored that you asked me to participate in this. I really feel very honored by it. Well, anyway, you've been here a really long time. You've been obviously prior to me being the chair. You know, you've been involved in quite a lot of things. You've been a real stalwart here as an adjunct, I know. I know that because you were part of the writing across the curriculum, which they did not let adjuncts do, but they let you do it. They made a special exception because they call them longtime adjuncts, people that have been around and who are part of the department. So that was a real big deal. I know you've done that, and I know you also started that newsletter way back when. And I guess when Nick Skirka came on, you guys kind of resurfaced that together, and that's been going real well. You were involved with the cross-country skis, which I didn't realize that you just mentioned that to me. That's kind of neat until we ran out of snow in this area. So maybe you have another life someplace as a cross-country ski instructor in your future. That would be awesome. Maybe in Israel someplace. Maybe that, I don't know where they ski in Israel someplace, right? Besides that, it's been a real pleasure to know you and have you in the department, have you as a colleague and a friend. And I guess I'm running out of time. So again,
all right. Well, you know, Mel's been a terrific influence in my life, and we met up in the Catskills at a convocation of conservative synagogues in Queens. And the first thing that he got me involved in wasn't physical fitness, but something probably even more meaningful. He got me involved with Tomchei Shabbos, which is a charitable organization that delivers food to the Jewish poor in Queens, which was a real eye-opener to me and a real mitzvah kind of activity. And then we both retired from Tomchei Shabbos, and we took our pensions. And after that, he called me up and he got me involved in on-road biking. And then he got me involved in off-road biking. I never knew that right here in Queens, a couple minutes from my home, is Cunningham Park, one of the best off-road parking places in a city environment. So that was another real eye-opener. And then he influenced me to go on the Elin ride in Israel, which is a very important charitable bicycle ride to help out a very wonderful hospital that does extraordinary work in Israel. And on the give back side, I told him about Fonstock Park up in just an hour, door to door from here in Queens, which has really fine, what do you call it? What kind of skiing is that? Cross-country skiing.
Cross-country.
Yeah, and we've gone up there a couple times together. So Mel has been a good mentor for me in terms of remaining physically fit as I get older. And I want to thank Mel, and I also want to wish him a wonderful happy birthday on his 80th birthday.
No, I wanted to stop. Hi, this is Mel David speaking. I am just acknowledging the fact that Elin Hospital has helped me for the last 8 years. I've done the bike ride in Israel, brought a lot of money in, and Kathy Lanyard has been instrumental in helping me and all the bike riders over these 8 years. I'm very grateful to Kathy for helping us conduct this bike ride.
And Joshua, who I just think was your overall inspiration for everything you believe in about fitness, a healthy lifestyle, and most importantly, tzedakah. So on this milestone birthday, all of us are wishing you a healthy, happy 80th, and may we see you on the bike and helping the kids in Elin for many, many years to come.
Hi, my name's Kevin Leifer, And it's a pleasure to be able to wish Mel a wonderful 80th birthday. Mel and I go back about 11 years. It was actually Mel. Mel is really my idol. I really, really would love to be able to, when I grow up, I'd love to be like Mel. We met about 11 years ago. I had started to do the bike ride through Alin in Israel, and I did it one year, my first year, and I didn't know what I was doing. I was not a bike rider. I hadn't ridden a bike in about 40 years, and I really did not know how to train. And somehow I met up with Sandy Nissel Horowitz and Mel and Howard Isaacs, and we started to train together every Sunday morning, riding out to the North Shore. And that our group, little groups, has grown over the years, and it really has become a wonderful group of people. We get together at our various simchas, and it really is just a wonderful group, and it really has helped me train certainly over the years. Be ready for the I've done 11 now. I've now done 11 bike rides for Alin, plus other bike rides, and it really has been terrific. And I remember one of my early on. I think it was maybe the first year we were riding together. We were riding together out in the North Shore, and we were approaching a fork in the road. And there was another group that was riding, and they turned left, and I wasn't paying attention. I just started to go left, and Mel yelled out to me, "Go right, right!" And I turned quickly. I was on some gravel, and I fell. And Mel and I had an abrasion on my leg. I was okay, but Mel could not stop futzing over me and constantly asking me how I was doing. He felt so badly. He felt responsible for the fact that I fell, and it was unbelievable. He couldn't get me water and this. We went to the firehouse. So Mel, really, that's Mel. I mean, he is such a nice guy, and active at 80 years old. He's unbelievable to have done what he has done, at least since I know him. And I only want to wish Mel and Ricky and the entire family many, many more years together. And Mel should be healthy and keep doing what he's doing. And again, he's my idol, and I really just love him, and just be well.
Hi Mel, how are you? I wanted to wish you a mazel tov on your very, very young 80th birthday. I wanted to thank you so much for that trip we did out of the Grand Canyon. As you recall, I was climbing out of the Grand Canyon with you. It only took me about 14 hours. With your chizuk, I basically made it up. I was about to kill myself, but you said, "No, Bob, look at me. You can do it. You can do it." And I constantly was following that, and I've actually taken your good advice further. I've dropped about 96 pounds. I've taken up biking just like you do. I want to get to Machu Picchu just like you do. And I hope at 80, I'm exactly the same as you are. Mazel tov once again.
Terrific.
This is a picture of the group in Grafton, and we have Shimon Ron in the front here, and Janice and Judy, myself, my wife, Howard, Jerry, and another couple. And we used to go there every winter for a weekend, and this was something that we did all the time. This is a picture of the group in Grafton, cross-country skiing group. Nick and Kathy, Jerry and Janice, Ricky and Mel. We used to spend many weekends in Grafton cross-country skiing, and it was really very, very wonderful, and we miss it very, very much. We used to go camping. Shimon and Bev were the ones who brought the tent, and they were the experts. And Jerry, Janice, Ricky, and I, and Howard and Judy sometimes would join the camping. It was a wonderful time. We had wonderful time together. It was just a wonderful, wonderful experience, and we remember it very fondly. This is a picture from the 1980s. Jazz and Jerry, Ricky and Mel, we used to celebrate our birthdays together, and we were at the Roosevelt Hotel. There's a very interesting story about a reservation that I made, and we'll have to tell it to you privately when we get to see you all. But this is a great time. We had a great time together. Jazz and Jerry sent us a voice message, and somehow or other we never got to, couldn't find it, and as a result we never included it in the project. So I apologize to Jerry and Janice for not including it. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Norman Ringel. I've been a friend with Mel for many, many years. Probably one of the first times I met him, he ripped his Achilles in camp, and I remember him putting on a special cast to swim. Anyway, Mel and I have done many, many things together. I can't list them all. It would take way too long. But during our running years, one thing we did was we used to run home from Bronx Science, which was beyond crazy. Grand Concourse, 59th Street Bridge, Queens Boulevard, Flushing Meadow Park. It was one of our runs we did once in a while. Another one was, which Mel talked about all his life, after we did it, was the Four Bridges run. We drove a car to the Brooklyn Bridge. We ran over the Brooklyn, came back over the Williamsburg, went back over the 59th, came back over the Triborough, and then ran back to the car. That run could never be done again because on the Triborough they did away with the running path. There are a lot more things I could talk about. I'll tell one more story. When my father retired, he took a class in pottery. I asked Mel to help with registration. This man not only helped him with registration, he actually took the class just to help my father out. So the man is a tzaddik. Mel, I want to wish you a happy 80th birthday.
Hi, this is Mel David. In life, we have to recognize when people do good things, and Normie did something that was really spectacular, and I'd like to just take a few moments out to share it with you. In 1973, there was a drug epidemic, and 5 people from the health departments were chosen in a for a state-funded program for 2 years to work with schools, and I and 4 other people. I worked with the Queens high schools, and the other 4 people worked with the 4 other boroughs, and we enjoyed that. We worked at the Department of Health and Phys Ed in New York at 43rd Street, and I went there for 2 years, and I felt like a real big shot going into the city and working in Manhattan. And it was really quite enjoyable to be in the city for 2 years and try to do something worthwhile. And then when that 2-year program ended, they get rid of us and do something with us. So they took me and the others and they assigned us to high schools, and I was assigned to the Bronx High School of Science. And from the very beginning, I was quite overwhelmed because when I got there was a walkout. 2,500 students were walking in the street saying that Mel David is coming and he's not a licensed supervisor, and it's going to cause a couple of people to lose their jobs. Mel Elkin will lose his job as a acting assistant principal, and this guy Vogel would have been dropped. So that was the way I was greeted. And the principal told me that he would not recognize me, and he thought that I should consider transferring to another school. But I, of course, did not want to do that because I knew Bronx High School of Science had some positives, the big positive being the student body. But anyway, for the first 2 weeks, they wouldn't give me any place to put in my coat, or they said just watch the classes, observe the classes. And after a while, I was wondering what's going to happen. And I took it a day at a time. I said, look, all I want to do is just finish. Today is Thursday. I want to finish Thursday. I want to get through Thursday. And I had little goals I set for myself, sort of like a marathon. And I said, oh, it's going to be a couple of weeks and I'll be fine. Well, it took many, many years before any kind of change took place with respect to administration and the department. The big change actually took place when Normie Ringel joined the department, and he was my friend, and he supported me, and at that time I felt positive that we're going to move forward and things are going to be working out okay. I tried my best to work around the resistance that I was experiencing at the Bronx High School of Science, but I couldn't do anything. But anyway, Mel Elkin became an administrator at the school, and then all of a sudden I started getting letters about locker room thefts. And I went to the principal and I said, look, you and I know that the only way you could stop locker room thefts is have a guard in there. But I knew that they wouldn't want to put a guard into the locker room because that would remove their ability to undermine me, because this way they could continue to write letters. And they wrote letters for a long time, for a couple of years. Finally, there was a lawsuit, and they wanted to get rid of me formally because there were so many letters in my file. And I got a lawyer from the CSA, and I told Norm Ringel that I'd like to get some of those reports that they have in the dean's office, make Xerox copies of them, give them to me, and I'll give them to the lawyer. So as the case progressed, we had 3 hearing officers, and I had my lawyer from the CSA, and my lawyer asked the principal, what happened when Mel left Bronx Science? So the principal lied and said, oh, everything is okay now. There are no more locker room thefts. Oh. He said, And then he asked him again. He said, "Could you repeat what you just said?" And he said, "Yes, there are no more locker room thefts in Bronx Science because we've gotten rid of Mel David. He was the cause of the problem." So the lawyer then took out a case of about 50 reports, and the reports all showed that he was lying. The principal was lying. There continued to be locker room thefts there. So when that happened, they threw out the case. They said, obviously, the principal has some sort of a grudge against Mel David, and there's no justification for this suit. And the suit was ended. I didn't want to go back to Bronx Science because I felt very uncomfortable there with the principal, and I knew that it would not be a good place to be. And coincidentally, the Board of Education offered a buyout where we would get a very nice pension, and I retired with a very nice pension after spending 2 years down at the Board of Ed during that time when I was going through this litigation with the principal. And Normie Ringel was obviously the one that gave me the reports, and the principal knew that. So a principal called Normie in one day and said, "Look, Normie, I want to talk to you." And he started to berate Normie and to ask Normie, he said, "Normie, aren't you a team player? Why do you go against the principal?" Normie had discussed the case with Dershowitz, his cousin, a famous lawyer, Harvard lawyer. And Dershowitz told Normie, "Do not respond to him. Just don't say a word. Let him talk." And that's what Normie did. Normie did not respond. And that was the end of it. And Normie and the principal were at odds, of course, because of what Normie did. But the principal was embarrassed, of course, I think. And that was the end of the case. Maybe some of the grandchildren might want to write this up as a short story, or maybe do a mini novel or something. This is one of the signs that they made up: fairness for our school. And they had this all over when I first came to Bronx Science, and it says on the bottom, "Save Elkins and Vogel's job. There will be a protest rally Thursday, December 4th, during official period." Anyway, I thought that I should publicly acknowledge the brave thing that Normie did with going into the files and Xeroxing them and giving them to me, and it vindicated me, and I was very happy to win the case. Okay.
Hi, my name is Ed Brolick, and I'm a friend of Mel David's. And first off, I want to wish Mel a very, very happy birthday for his 80th. And I've known Mel for quite a few years at this point now. I've worked at Kingsborough quite a few years myself. I first met Mel, I don't know how many years ago this was, but we started to play ball. We had some interesting things in common, and Mel got me excited again about working out and playing racquetball, and then we started to take walks on the campus during lunch hour. And I'd always look forward to Mel's visits to me back in T8. And Mel was he still is an aspiring piano player, and I would certainly give him the accommodations he needed. And I just love this guy, and I want to see him succeed in anything he does. And anytime he asks me to take part in something, I'm more than willing to do so, because I feel that colleagues should help each other out, and that's exactly what I'm doing with Mel. Once again, Mel, I wish you the best. What a wonderful birthday present. I hope all your friends see this and enjoy it as much as I've enjoyed you.
I'll record it for you. Okay, so I guess I was chosen to speak not as a child, a grandchild, but from a friendship point of view. And Stephen called and asked me to speak for a few minutes. quickly said, okay. And then when I got off the phone, I said, how can I possibly only speak for a few minutes after 55 years of friendship? But we'll try. So together with Leonie, we have been Mel's friend for that long. Is it really possible that we're all here to celebrate Mel's 80th birthday? As we reach older age, I've heard it said that numbers are meaningless. I disagree. Numbers, especially one like 80, is a testament to one's accomplishments in a span of time. For Mel, he has certainly passed the test. We have all witnessed him succeeding in every relationship: son, husband, father, grandfather, and friend. Mel and I have succeeded as friends. Mel and I have succeeded as friends because many years ago, we agreed that there was one relationship we would never tamper with. You all know I refer to the unique friendship of Ricky and Leonie. I've made 3 lists of Mel's activities. 1, actions already completed. 2, actions he probably hopes to complete. 3, no real desire to ever do them. Let's get rid of number 3 first. In that column, I put Mel sitting around and doing nothing, just relaxing. Number 1 is a little longer list. That's the one he's accomplished already. Swimming, running, cycling, golf, tennis, skiing, downhill and cross country, marathon, triathlon, a Lynn bike ride, scuba, and deep sea diving, etc. If I left any out, forgive me, but you get the idea. Number 2, what he probably hopes to do. Parachute, the Ironman triathlon, bicycle across the USA, climb Mount Everest, swim the English Channel, play some great musical piece on his keyboard. Again, you get what I mean. And so, Mel, what do Leonie and I wish you in the years to come? That Hashem bless you and Ricky and all of us continued happiness, nachas from children and grandchildren, and most importantly, good health for many, many more years. We love you and happy birthday.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Now we have a video presentation. Dad?
Just
No.
a few words. I did not realize.
Bev is a very talented theatrical manager. Shimon is a sound engineer, and we miss them very much. And they live in Las Vegas, and we used to have wonderful times with the Isaacs, the Millettes, and the Davids. We wish them lots of luck.
It's been many years, lots of laughter and some tears, shared moments indelibly pressed in our heart. We love to remember what? Where do we start? The 4 seasons came and went, summer, winter, spring, and fall. The tent was huge and could accommodate us all. The Delaware River was our destination. We were all so full of happy anticipation. But our whitewater rafting got out of control, didn't know what to do.
Bev navigated in front of the canoe, had gotten us into a white water stew. Praying for help, Bev looked to the skies.
Shimon was convinced this was to be our demise. Ricky and Mel came paddling by with expertise. Experienced and relaxed, they enjoyed the fresh breeze. It was obvious to them that we were in trouble. They found a solution on the double. Shimon went with Ricky, and I went with Mel. We paddled down the river feeling swell. The lesson we learned on this particular trip is that with friends like Ricky and Mel, we didn't need to abandon ship.
Bye. I hope you got it. You're going to get it. And Thanks. Bye-bye.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Mike Rawson, and I was media director in the late 80s through the early 2000s. When I met Mel, he was working on his course in exercise, and we got talking, and he offered a cross-country skiing trip over one Saturday and Sunday weekend, and my fiance at the time and I went with Mel and the class upstate New York and had simply a wonderful time doing that. I can't say enough about that time. My wife and I continue to talk about that experience.
Happy birthday. It's a big one. Mel and I share an office. We enjoy the ocean. Some things nautical, kayaking. We kayak together, like swimming, like the beach. And I guess at some point or other we share all of the joys of the ocean that Maggie, Millie, Molly, and May enjoy. Okay, what else? Best of luck, and we teach similar classes. We teach the same class in HPE 15, and what more can I say? Many, many happy returns.
Happy birthday, Mel. May you have many more happy and healthy birthdays, my dear neighbor and friend. Ad Mei Avesem Shana. I just want to mention that over the years you've influenced me on my exercise routines, particularly my love of bicycling. I remember two things you taught me. First, when riding, drink before you're thirsty, eat before you're hungry. Second, to remember the motto, I look good in spandex because I ride because I look good in spandex. Happy birthday, Mel.
Begin.
Hello, I'm Ray Weigel. I met Mel cross-country skiing in a terrible snowstorm in 1993 in Casina Golf Course. I was going along by myself. The wind was blowing in my face. Couldn't see anything. And then I glanced to my right and I see another skier. I said, gee, who's crazy enough to go out here in this weather except me and this other guy? I said, I better introduce myself and find out who he is. And it was Mel David. And we said, gee, what do you do in the spring and summer? And Mel said, gee, I bike ride. I said, gee, I bike ride too. And then Mel said, well, let's do it. And that's how I met him. And it's been a great 20 years. Okay?
My name is Nussin Friedman. I'm sitting here in my office with Mel, my cousin Mel, and my wife, and I just learned that Mel has reached the age of 80, which is a real milestone, and I want to wish him and his family a lot of nachas, and that we should be able to enjoy many, many smachot and family gatherings. As I sit here, I go back some 7 years when his mother and my mother used to meet, and he and I, as little youngsters, would spend some time in his father's candy store and in the neighborhood of Williamsburg, trying to just be good young youngsters to our parents who are cousins. I am very happy to be able to have lived these years and to have known and been affiliated with Mel and his wife Ricky and their family. Ad Mea V'Esrim Shana, good luck and all good tidings.
We have a great picture here from my wedding, 1960, of the Friedman. We have Clara Friedman on the left, and we have Esther Feingold on the right. Hadassah is on the left next to her mother-in-law, Nussin, and the Hechts. The parents of Sima Hecht, who is a great family supporter and who's done an awful lot of work on family genealogy, and Barry, who's also done unbelievable work. And we're asking all of the family members in various family groups to provide information for Barry so that we will have records for posterity. And on the right side, we have Esther Feingold, the mother of Chaya, and also of Simcha Feingold, now deceased. And he has a wonderful family living in Israel, 8 or 9 children, and they are also participating in our family records, and we hope that they will submit information to Barry as soon as possible. Thank you so much for being part of our genealogy project. Mel David.
Mel was born in a log cabin on the banks of the East River. When he was 14, he looked older. He could get into the movies at night. I couldn't. I looked about 12. On my wedding night, his car broke down. My wife and I had the honor of driving him home. Mel was an athlete. About 60 years ago, he tore his Achilles tendon. He had to get up to camp where he was the waterfront counselor. I had to go to the hospital, pick him up, and drive him to camp in a cast that covered his entire leg. Don't ask me how he did his job. He was always a positive person. He had a personality that drew people to him. To this day, I have yet to have an argument with him. Mel is a fine person, a great human being, and one of the nicest people on the planet. Mel, happy 80th birthday.
Hi, Mel. I wonder if you remember the time that I asked you to do me a big favor. I was supposed to go to Weiss's farm with my girlfriend, Eliza Goldstein, and suddenly in the last minute, I had a problem at home, and I realized that I couldn't take Eliza to Weiss's farm, and I thought in order to keep her away from other guys, the best thing that I could do was entrust her in your hands, period. Needless to say, I did that with great trepidation because I wasn't quite sure if I could trust you as well, period. Anyway, in the words of Shakespeare, all's well that ends well. Eliza and I are now married for 56 years, period. And when people ask me about my marriage...
Able to congratulate Mel on his 80th birthday. I have known him just about my entire life. My Uncle Zussman lived in Williamsburg, and Mel and his brother Sidney lived nearby. And at that time, we did not call him Mel, we called him Moishele. And he had a red wagon. When he knew that we were coming, Simma and I were coming to Uncle Zussman's house, Mel Moishele came with his brother, put his brother in the wagon, and came over to Uncle Zussman's house, and we used to play together. We also used to spend Seders together at Uncle Zussman's house. And those are one of the most joyful times of my life that I remember. And at one point, my mother had an operation, and I stayed with Aunt Lige and Uncle Zussman for a whole week. And Cousin Miriam very kindly brought Sidney and Mel over to play with me after school, so I wouldn't be lonely, because I was missing my friends in my old neighborhood and my friends at school. So everything I think about is joyful and happy.
Simma Renee Hecht, maiden name, Wolf, married name. I am the daughter of Celia and Aaron Hecht, and I want to wish Mel a very happy 80th birthday. Happy
We are now looking at Zvi Hirsch and Rivka Keller-Wolf, the two parents of Miriam David. And then they had, underneath that, you could see the left, Chaya, born in 1903. She was the youngest. She died in World War II. She's the one that wove a rug. We have a rug in the attic that she prepared, she made. Next to Chaya, we have Charna. She's 7.5 years older than my mother. She died when she was 15 years old. We think it's around 1910. Going to the right is Miriam David. She's 1 year older, 1902, than Chaya. She came to the United States in 1921. My mother came here in 1921. And Zeinville, my uncle Sidney, he was born in 1603, Wolf. He was bar mitzvahed in 1916. He's 1.5 years younger than my mother, and he died in October 11th, 1983. And going down, we're going to go down a little bit here to look at the next generation. Mel and Sid. My brother Sidney, on the extreme right, has 2 children. Seth, who lives in California, he's on the extreme right. And then Gary and Chaya. Gary and Chaya, who currently live in Israel. And they have 4 children. The latest one is Yonatan, the youngest. Tamar, Tova, and Joshua Yonatan. And Yonatan, they have 4 children. And as I said, they live in Israel. And my family, we have, on the extreme left, we have Deborah and Jonathan, and they have Kenai Nahara, 5 children. Joe, who graduated just recently, Elliot, Jakey, Emily, and Julia Joy. And then next we have Stephen and Eileen, and they have 4. Joshua, who's now in Sydney, Australia. Jordan, who's in the military, in the army in Israel. Rachel, who's back. She's working at a JCC internship. And Noah, who is now in Ramaz. So those are the 4. And Michael and Karen, they have 3 children, Kenai Nahara. Tamar is the oldest. Ariel is next, and Talia is the youngest. So that is the family tree that we have, and just thought that we would have a record of this for posterity. Hi, I'm going over some pictures. I don't know if the sound will pick up. I'm just talking to myself, Rick. It's okay. This is a picture on the left here of It's the only picture of my mother's sisters. Chaya is in rear left, white blouse. She died in 1916. Possible cause is herniated disc. Chana is 2 years older than Chaya, the youngest. Uncle Sidney is 18 months younger than Mom. We do not know who the figures are other than Chaya. Okay, so this is a picture of one of my father's 2 candy stores, and he had candy stores in Brooklyn, and my mother helped him in the candy store. In those years it was very hard to make a living, and this picture was taken in November 6, 1932, a couple of years, 3 years before I was born. And it says on the top of the picture, it says Sam's Candy Store on Lee Avenue. There's the address, photographed November 6, 1932, and it's interesting that it's on November 6, which is Mom's birthday, and Jonathan and Stephen's birthday, but the date is August the 6th, okay? This is a picture of when Rachel was little. I brought her to Kingsborough Community College, and I took her swimming. And when my mother died, my mother used to have a lot of plants, and this picture was taken on 7/3/97, a year after my mother's death. And the plant that my mother had, I brought to Kingsborough Community College, and there was a guy there who used to love to take care of plants. He kept them in the pool where it was very humid, and the plant survived, and it looks alive and vibrant. It was interesting. I thought it was like a symbolic thing that my mother's plant was still alive a year after she had passed away. So that was something. These pictures are all on a card that we had showed at the 2001 reunion. And this is a picture of my brother, Uncle Sidney, and myself when we were in Williamsburg, and my father always used to like to take pictures, so he went to a photographer and we took pictures here, and that's probably the reason why my Uncle Sidney and I, and now my 3 children, all seem to have a love for photography and taking pictures. So this goes way back. I think that I was about 10 at the time. I'm 5 years older than my brother. My brother may have been about 5. This is another picture of Grandma, Ricky, and myself. I have something written on the side. It says 2 family members who had sex changes. The Nazarite on the right side previously was a phys ed teacher. That person is me, and I'm wearing a nun's uniform. And Grandma, or Mom, is wearing a Hasidic uniform. And we had gone to a party, and we dressed up in these costumes, and when we were driving, Mom and I were, people looked in other cars, they saw us driving and they couldn't believe it. They thought there was something strange about it. So I thought that this is an interesting picture, and this will be part of our archives. June 19th, 2011. And today we had a very nice day today with the children coming and bike riding with me for Father's Day. Tomorrow we're having a family get-together, limited, but we're trying our best and we're in the process of getting together with a group of people. We're getting together.
Hi, how are you?
We're getting together with a group of people in Nargila place in Manhattan, and we're trying to remember the patriarchs and matriarchs of our family. So this family group goes back to the year 2000, when my son Michael David had a time, he had some free time, and he did research, and he established the connections between the various families that are linked, very tangentially, but nevertheless they're linked. And we had a wonderful reunion in 2001, and I was convinced that I wanted to do something. I felt 10 years had gone by enough, and I wanted to do something. We couldn't get it together, but I decided that I would do it myself and do whatever I can, and this is what we're doing. So I'm just showing you the shirt that we had from 2001, and it links the three families: Wolf, one family, and the other family is the Krupke family and the Keller family. So we have three families grouped together in a very minor way, but we are sort of related. And we made a family shirt in 2001, and I just want to read the names of those people just so that we have them for posterity. Starting with the Friedman family, we have the Friedman, we have Nussin Friedman, Hadassah, Rachi, Charles, Ilana, Avigdor, Eliora, who's in Israel, Uri, Shira, Avi, who is going to give us going to do some work for us, Esther, Meir, Yitzchak, Nave, Feingold family, Simcha, who is now deceased, and we miss him very much. We're going to talk about him later. And Dina, Yaakov, Chani, trying to get to see the names of all of the family. Chani, Shoshana, Miria, Levia, and Chaim. Those are the Feingold. And then there's Ayelet, Hila, Auerbach, Miriam, Achia, the Lochak family, Arthur, Fega, who passed away, Aaron, Jody, and Alana, the Kriegsman family, Etty and Charles, who will be meeting with us today, Eli, Rachi, Chaim, Mariam Feinstein is meeting with us in the evening, and Gerald the Steisel family. Gerald, who's now out of town, and Marilyn, Paula, Sherry, the Saperstein family, Renee, Bill, Alan, Marcy, Tess, Gillian, Barbara, Lenny, Andrew, Laura, Jeffrey, Jessica, Emily, Wolf, Sima, Shari, the Hex family, Barry. We're hoping that he helps us with the the book that we're going to put together. Bradley, we hope that she continues to make good recovery. Schiffman family, Ariella and Ethan. The Krupka family, Saul, Sherry, Dina, Miriam, Malka. And Hannah, Rivka, Avraham, Yehuda, Menashe, Kalman, Elisheva, the Kraut family, the two daughters of Gerald Krupka, Jerry Krupka, Naomi, Michael, Jennifer, Sarah, Rebecca, the Klein family, Alma, Andrew, Yonatan, Ariel, Yafa, Simcha, the Krupka family, Benji, Rayla, Leba, Chani, Ora, Yoni, Elki, Naomi, Krupka, Moshe, Chashi, Tzvi, Menashe, Yitzchak, Elka, Yosef, Esther, Yehuda, the Moed family. We had a loss there. Mel Moed passed away not too long ago. We're sorry to hear that. Jenny. The Howard Frank family, Howard and Eleanor, Merrill and Wendy, and they sent us information. We're going to talk a little bit about his mother, Molly, and his grandmother, Molly, and his mother, Lillian. Beatrice Rubenstein passed away recently, last couple of years, and we're going to just talk about her tonight. Mark, Lucille, Brad, and Deborah. The David family, Mel and Ricky, Jonathan and Deborah. Joseph, who graduated just recently from high school, from high school. Elliot and Emily just graduated also, and they got awards. Emily and Jacob graduated, I'm sorry. Stephen, Eileen, Joshua, Jordan, Rachel, Noah, Michael, David, and Karen, Tamar, Ariel, Sydney, Elaine, Gary, Chaya, Joshua, Tova, Tamar, Seth, and I must mention that since this shirt was made, Talia was born to Michael and Karen. Jonathan was born to Chaya and Gary, and Jonathan and Deborah had Julia Joy. So those are all additions to the family, and I just wanted to introduce this videotape with the, just went over, I wrote it out so that maybe it might be clearer if it was written in words. Again, this is a resource that Michael came up with, and the diagram. Miriam Wolf David, my mother, had siblings, Chaya, Charna, and Zeinville, Uncle Sidney. And they were the children of Rivka Keller Wolf and Tzvi Hirsch Wolf. Tzvi Hirsch Wolf had a sister, Rachel Leah Wolf. Her mother was a Wolf, Welkus. And Rachel Leah Wolf Welkus was the mother of Clara Friedman, Nassen's mother, Miriam Welkus, who's, we're not sure what happened to her, and Esther Welkus Feingold, Simcha and Chaya's mother, and Natan Welkus, and Charna Krupka Wolf, Miriam Wolf's grandmother. On her father's side, Tzvi Hirsch Wolf is the daughter of an unknown mother of Moshe Krupka and Rivka Krupka. So that is the connection again. I'm just trying to clarify it in my own mind by writing it out, and hopefully it would give us some insight into the connection between the families, okay? That is another way of my mother on the extreme left, Miriam David. On her left, our right, is Beatrice Rubenstein, the mother of Mark Rubenstein. Next to Beatrice is her mother, Frida Landau. And next to her is Molly Keller. And then on the extreme right side is Lillian Keller, who is the mother of Howard Frank, who has 2 children, Merrill and Wendy, and she also had a sister, Judy, that moved to Hawaii. And now I'm going to go over the descendants of Charna Wolf. Just going to clarify that.